Hi, welcome to One Word a Day. I'm Sophie, your pilot into the universe of Chinese. Let's continue our exploration in digging just a little bit deeper into the meaning of Chinese meaning making. Okay, so we have been stick with this two character expressions a day streak in September. So let's continue with the 线人. Yesterday we talked about the 在线. 线 means thread. And then thread person. Okay, you may wonder why. What is a thread person? I mean, in English we have stick figure, right? Stick figure is a drawing that rendering somebody as a stick. That's as thin as possible to render a person. But now you're using a thread to match it with person. Like what kind of person is that? Okay, so thread again means thread. Chinese have this the left and right structure in this character. What I'm saying, okay, the left structure is about textile or something related to fabric, because here is probably ancient spools after you make thread. So thread are going to be put on the spools together, so things are not tangled. When you use it, you can easily unthread it. Right, so spools and then connected by some sort of thread, and then the bottom is this drapey kind of symbol, kind of looking like that. It depicts the vision or the visual of how a fabric, once made into a fabric, would kind of piping through the space when it's draping. So gravity plays a role there to make the fabric drape. Okay, so that's the left. Something, spools connect together and the fabric end up looking drapey like that. So the whole thing is something related to fabric or textile. Now, the right side, you see the two symbols stack up together and actually connected, linked together. It's the same thing, but repeated twice. And the bottom one, because it's on the bottom, so visually, it has to be the one holding up the top one, even if they're exactly the same character. Visually, the lower one, the bottom one, will be slightly bigger, so that visually it's more balanced, because it can then shows like it's the bigger one that can hold up the top one. Okay, each one means a type of weaponry that in the beginning of time, when Chinese agrarian society, people mostly in peaceful times are farmers, because food security was the number one thing, right? The number one industry back then. And then in war times, the man in a household would be drafted to fight for their tribe. And eventually becomes empire. So this farmers converted to soldiers in wartime would also convert their farming into weaponry. So this is one type of commonly used, farming tool that serves as a double, can be repurposed into weaponry. And it's relatively short in comparison to spear. I don't know about ancient times warfare, but I can kind of imagine back then that there are combination of all kinds of weaponry, that some are long range, kind of bow and arrow, and near range, kind of spear, or with chariot, that you can have the momentum and be on a cart, like moving through the battlefield faster, therefore more forceful, right? And warriors on horses, right? All kinds, and that requires different kind of weaponry. And this type are farmers converted soldiers, that they would use this relatively short range. So that's kind of a near body combat situation. Very bloody if you think about it. But that short weaponry in the whole categories, the whole gamut of weaponry is on the short end. So therefore, two of them stacked together, probably each hand hold one of each, right? That's eventually used to mean something short because it's the short kind of weapon. So short paired with textile then means the short end of the journey of textile formation, which starts from, gather either cotton or linen, cotton, flax, or wool that gather from either plant or animals, and then use these fibers, make them into yarn. Excuse me, and then into, I'm sorry for that, and then into textile. So there is a whole conversion of this natural material converted into man-made material that can be used as a fabric, into garment. So this conversion, there's a journey for that. And then the short end of it is at the very beginning of it. And at the very beginning, it will be from fiber to yarn to thread. So this then means the thread because it's the short end of the textile formation journey. Okay, so that's thread. 人, okay, almost like English R, letter R, right? And this is contemporary Chinese looking. It's symmetrical like that. And the most basic definition of what is a person is two-leg standing being. So basically that's Homo erectus, right? Two-leg standing being. But you see ancient Chinese rendering make it a little bit more complicated. It's not symmetrical anymore. The left side is straighter and the right side is curvier, and it's kind of on top of kind of a wrap on top of the left side. So it's kind of like that. So I'm not sure if the language creator made it visually looking like that to mean a person. If that's a profile view of a person, kind of a haunting, well, that's a little bit, that's not a good posture. Or just signify that a person made of this left and right side of them. So this rational, emotional, however you want to classify a person, right? It got its, bipolar traits in this person. So a person is no longer the symmetrical, just left and right, two legs standing being, the simple. The language creators originated looking like that, have its complexity in it, have its, two components, the yin and the yang of that human being, what's made of there. So you can see, just by the formation of this Chinese character, we can already see the inner conflict in all of us. When we are a combination of two forces at least, and in any dimension, you can almost find this two extremes, and then you're somewhere in the middle. So it's, imagine this like multi-dimensional thing of each person, and then on, for example, introvert, extrovert, right? On any of the dimension, all of us are falling on the spectrum somewhere. So this gives, the depth of what a person is about. It's a complicated thing, but they join together to form one unit. And each of us' job is to reconcile our two sides, the battle of the two sides. Okay, so 线人 together actually is a Chinese way to mean somebody who gave you some sort of insider information, to give you a thread or a clue about something. And that's the kind of person, I guess in a espionage probably context is more commonly used, that you want to learn about your enemy, and then you are trying to recruit such informant that who are going to give out the insider information about your enemy camp. So that's 线人, and Chinese use this 线 means somebody who is giving you a thread of information that can lead to a bigger picture, right? Just give you a little bit. Or it could be like kind of underground or covered nobody wants to expose who your informant is, right? So that thread almost means like this one-on-one contact, kind of a secrecy in it. And that's the kind of person you are in. The informant is the, on one tiny thread to connect with you, to give you such information. All right, so that's Chinese 线人. Cash into the currency of thinking about one word a day with some fixing every day.